We're gonna go ahead and get started. Before we get started, we're calling an audible. I'm gonna call up Aubrey McKellips to speak to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Aubrey McKellips and I'm here representing the product of the fair and 4-H. I'm a 4-H member with the Mountaineers and I am the secretary. And I'm just here to invite you to the fair, come on to a show and see how much hard work kids and even adults put into the projects. And just remind you that Colorado contributes over $47 billion into its economy every year. And that when you go to the county fair, you're not only helping in agriculture, but you're helping future employees and future business leaders. So when you go to the fair, stop a kid and ask them, hey, what's your animal's name? Because I can guarantee you it's not going to be something like, oh, his name's Johnny or his name's Steve. It's going to be Marshmallow. He likes marshmallows. So if you have a chance to stop by the fair and ask a kid what they did and the name of their project, it's going to mean the world to them. And it's going to mean the world to every kid and adult there that is taking the time to really get yourself involved in our community. And
Okay, before we get into our agenda, a big thank you to our coffee sponsor, Perry Pepper from Southwest Colorado Pueblo Community College.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Perry Pepper. I'm the Director of Academic Services at Pueblo Community College Southwest here in Southwest Colorado. I've been here for about 23 years living in Bucklaw County. And I just want to tell you a quick little bit about some resources out there for students and some of our fall programming that we have going. So the legislature just passed a new House Bill 22-3-1246, allocating $38 million to the Colorado Community College system to help fund in-demand programs for in-demand fields that help lead the mid to high wage jobs. And those areas are going to be early childhood, education, law enforcement, fire, wildland fire, practical nursing and construction trades. So that's a big help because that money is going to pay for student tuition potentially and textbooks and fees. So those students potentially can be enrolled in those programs and not have to pay to get that training that's in the community and their communities. Our way that we're going to help support that this fall is we're starting on the construction trades program at our Memphis campus, and students will be enrolled in courses getting their OSHA 10, their NCCR core, their carpentry class, as well as performing an internship. So they'll have a 16 credit hour certificate that they can achieve at the end of the semester. Also, we have a practical nurse program that's starting this fall. We run those every other year. So this fall, we have students pursuing that LPN credential. That's a year-long program. We also have a wildland fire program that will be launching this fall, late October, when our wildland firefighters are hopefully not on call anymore and able to work with us. And then as well, our ECE and our Friday Academy, where high school students come out on Fridays for industry credentials at our Memphis campus. We're also in Durango at the Commons. We have 2 classrooms there and our enrollment center on the 3rd floor. And we're proud to be working with the Economic Alliance. This fall, they'll offer again another IT class. We'll be offering Security Plus. The top will be teaching that class. And we're also working with the Economic Alliance to hopefully offer a drone course in the community this fall, in Durango as well, for industry partners. And then in Bayfield, we also have Care Forward dollars that are available. These are leftover funds from Care Forward. And these are going to pay for students' tuition fees in an MA program that we're launching this fall at the Bayfield site, as well as paying for CNA. And again, I'm proud and honored to be your coffee sponsor. Thank you for having me.
Gosh, humorous. Well, with our good friend Joe departing the board of the Alliance, taking position out of the county, We had some elections for board leadership. So just to let everybody know, I'm Stephen Elias, Dean of the School of Business up at the Fort, Director of the Center, although Elizabeth keeps everything running smoothly. I have moved into the chair position. Where's Mitch? Mitch in the back has moved into the vice chair and secretary position. Mitch Dye, thank you. Is Jason here this morning? Jason Porch has moved into the treasurer position. Every board meeting, we review our financials, but with me moving, or with a bunch of us moving up in our roles, we kind of did a deep dive, look at our first half financials, look at our second half forecast. We had a finance committee meeting yesterday, and just so you know, everything is beyond solid. Mike's doing a phenomenal job with our finances and our budget. Everyone in the alliance is doing a great job in that regard. Membership is strong, but tell your friends, we're always taking more members, right? They don't have 3 members. And we're getting extraordinarily excited for Summit 2023. In fact, I think we have 4 keynote speakers on the schedule for the summit, and one of them is going to be joining us for a moment this morning. Chris Sherbrooke is one of the keynote speakers. I believe he's in New York at the moment, right? He's the author of the best-selling book, Gratitude Through Hard Times, CEO of Club 747, board member of FastCo, and he's also an author for Rolling Stone. So let's say good morning to Chris, who is 2 hours ahead of us.
Yep. Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Chris.
Perry, I just wanted to thank you for kicking that off. It's pretty amazing to hear about the young development programs that y'all are doing in the county, and I'm so excited to see so many business owners who can hopefully become some pretty awesome mentors to these young kids going through the community college program. So nice to meet you all. Yes, I am usually in New York City, but today, due to weather delays, I am stuck here at the beach in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, my hometown, which I'm so excited to be joining you all today. Come this fall, we're going to really introduce a unique concept that the future of La Plata County is human connection. Your community and the companies that operate in it and the organizations that you serve are filled with internal and external stakeholders that are really crumbling under the agitation of uncertain times. There's no accident to say that the world is going through a crazy time. And what that crazy time has created is record high disconnection and loneliness rates amongst America's communities. And what usually happens when American citizens go through things like that is that we focus on what we have not in common rather than what we have in common. And so the opportunity, obviously the theme of the conference in the fall is opportunity now. I think the opportunity that we're going to hopefully introduce to you all is to take the opportunity to create meaningful moments of human connection with each other. I grew up in Hilton Head Island, which is a community that was going through exactly what La Plata County is going through right now. We've had moments of time in our history where we were just local residents. We had moments of time where we welcomed in visitors, and now we have moments in time where we've welcomed in new business owners, remote workers, a different community of people. And so I want to, pose the conversation in the fall of how do we connect in meaningful ways as a community, not only connect with ourselves, connect with our teams, connect with our local community, and connect with, the broader population as a whole. How do we invite them into our community and welcome them with open arms while also appreciating and preserving what we have that's going so well in La Plata County? Michael French, how is that as a good start?
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
I won't go into the how or the what, but what I'll say is that I'm coming in hopefully to teach the principles of gratitude, empathy, and creating meaningful moments of human connection. Because if our community can come together stronger than ever before, going forward, the future of La Plata County looks like a pretty promising and happy place.
Thanks, Chris.
Wonderful.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you all for having me. So excited to meet you all.
Perhaps next year's summit will be in Hilton Head.
Hey, we would welcome that. Let's all do a trip to Hilton Head, and we'll get you set up at the beach and we'll have a good time.
Wonderful.
Thanks,
Should we take a
Chris.
vote? Okay, with that, I'll turn it over to our executive director, Mike French.
Getting you set up here. Let's go ahead.
We had some technical difficulties this morning, so we're on a secondary system, but we made Chris work, which is amazing, because about 10 minutes ago, we weren't sure that was gonna happen.
Give me one minute.
Screen's proper.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta share it with you. So you're good,
Okay.
you're good to go there.
Fantastic. All right. Good, JJ?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, we don't need to see it from here.
All right, cool.
Okay. JJ, can I still advance? No. There we go. Thank you. All right, briefly, thanks to the grant that we had for technical assistance through DOLA, we had a 2-day education series that was done on the 26th and 27th of last month. We had a full house. It was fantastic. We had our representatives from about 5 or 6 different communities, regional communities, so including ours in La Plata County, Bayfield, Ignacio, the city, the county. We had folks from Montezuma County. I think Dolores was represented. So Sarah, thank you so much for coordinating that. It's a great series. And out of it came some best practices, primarily for the RHA, but housing in general. We also talked about some of the common issues that all of these communities are facing. And last but not least, talked quite a bit about funding sources. And so we, the Alliance and some other entities had explored a couple of different funding sources historically and decided not to move forward with something on the ballot this November and give us a little bit more time to find another funding source for housing. I can go into some detail there with folks offline because it's very complicated, but long story short is you will not see anything on the ballot in this November for housing. The internship program is for the most part closed. Today we have 22 interns. There's probably 3 or 4 slots that are still being filled right now for companies that have already advertised on Handshake. Out of those, we've positioned 8 full-time jobs out of the 22 interns, which is phenomenal. And that ranges across all kinds of industries, small businesses, big businesses. So it's very representational of our community here. The Catalyst Fund. So just FYI, we will not have a meeting in September due to the summit. So our next meeting will be in October. So it's important that I announce the Catalyst Fund. As you guys know, we distributed $180,000 or a little bit more than that in round 1 to 5 different projects. Round 2 will be announced probably within the next 4 weeks, I think, right, Sarah? And we have a balance today of about $470,000 to distribute into round 2. I don't think we'll exhaust that. So my premonition is that we'll have a round 3 in 2024, early 2024. So we'll actually do round 2 by the end of this year. We'll announce it in 4 weeks and then go through the due diligence process, the application process, and the distribution before the end of the year. Opportunity Now grant. I'm really excited about what Perry's doing. The Opportunity Now grant is something that the Alliance and the Fort collectively were awarded. It's a $1.25 million grant over the course of the next 3 years to do micro certifications for industry by industry. So we've seated a advisory committee of industry that will help us come up with what those micro certifications need to look like. We'll do 2 micro certifications a year for a total of 6, and we're pretty excited to get that launched. We'll actually talk about the programming for that quite a bit at the summit. So hence the summit's called Opportunity Now for that exact same reason. And you'll see the summit really lean into those micro certifications and start to market those, advertise those, get buy-in from industry. By the time we have summit, we should have a pretty good idea of what those first couple of certs are going to look like, and be pretty excited to start rolling those things out. With that, I will talk just quickly about some housing stats. So we can't talk about housing without talking about mortgage rates. If you look at where mortgage is in terms of the last 52-week range, we're well above average. We're approaching the high for over the last year. And quite frankly, it's a high over the last several years, right? So I think we peaked out at just about 7.08. We're right now sitting at 6.9 for a 30-year and 6.25 for a 15-year. Some stats that just came out, I think 2 days ago. La Plata County, the activity has slowed down, but if you can look at pricing's increased significantly, both median and average for the month, and that's consistent with an increase year over year. And it's really interesting because La Plata, Durango, and Bayfield are not all normally everything's trending the exact same way, and in July it was a little bit different. For Durango in town, activity was actually up. It was a really strong July for Durango in terms of single-family homes. And as you can see, pricing inched up close to 30%, both median and average in the month of July. It's really what the product is being sold, right? So it's a little misleading. It's what kind of product is out there and what the inventory looks like. But if you look at what we're doing year to date, those numbers have also increased, not quite as dramatically as it has same time last year for July. The community that's actually bucking that trend is Bayfield. Bayfield had a little bit of a relief in July for pricing. So if you look at single family home median and average pricing in Bayfield, we actually were down approximately 10%. I think that's kind of strange because inventory is down. Things are being gobbled up pretty quick. Again, it's probably the type of inventory that's coming to market or available that's driving those statistics. And median and average price for the year is staying pretty consistent. The last thing I'll do is plug the summit again. Chris did a great job. We're really excited to have Chris. Chris will speak first thing in the morning, and then we have 2 keynotes at lunch, and we'll wrap it up with a keynote in the afternoon. Everything will be very much leadership centric, leaning into that opportunity now. Industry certification rallied around leadership. I want to thank our sponsors that we have to date. We will wrap up sponsorship this week and then start to get tickets distributed. Tickets are available, so register. Just go online to yeslpc.com and you'll be able to see a registration link. We're using Eventbrite this year to register.
Kaka, come on, hey, leave it.
Probably want to mute Chris. I think Chris is calling his dog. Thanks, Chris. Really excited. The schedule's up. We are right now working on breakout sessions, and so we have a committee forum. We'll advertise those breakout sessions probably in the next 10 days, but it's everything from digital literacy and AI to conflict resolution to housing solutions, and of course a few leadership sessions sprinkled in. So very excited about it. I think we're running a bit behind time, so I'll turn it back over to you, sir.
Sure. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Mike. We're gonna have our publics go first today. So first up is Commission Chair Matt Salter.
All right, good morning, everyone. Matt Salko, Pike County Commissioner. A couple items here today is, we now have our new planning director. It is, just started at the beginning of this month, so, great news. I will get her in front of you all here shortly, and have her introduce herself to you all. There's also been some missed deadlines recently in the planning departments, and we are aware of that. So we're working to improve our internal process, and the county currently right now is creating a management tool to be able to help. Hasn't been any institutional knowledge, a lot of transition with staff. So we're working on a tool to be able to keep everyone on track internally in the county, to better serve you all. The other item too, as well as the county treasurer, she will be stepping down. We are moving forward with that item. What we're doing right now is negotiating a consulting contract to provide an oversight and expertise during that transition period. So she will be stepping down in the beginning of November. And we have passed more applications for anyone interested. I believe that just recently closed, so we'll be reviewing those applications here pretty soon. The other item is weather radar is still on track moving forward. That is supposed to be completed here by the end of the year, so it's great news for our county and region. The other item too, as well, is short-term rentals. I brought that up last month, speaking to you all about it, and just want to let you all know, received letters, comments from individuals. And you will all be the first to know when we start that process. If we're looking at more of the end of the year, beginning of next year, talking about essentially a policy. The other item too, as well, is just to be heard this morning, is the fair. County fair is going on starting tomorrow till Sunday. Please go out there, ask those questions to the 4-H'ers. They work really hard in order to put the animals up front. There's some sponsorship opportunities, catch a calf. You can buy an animal, but I would love your support for those individuals, those children out there. The other concern too is parking at the Durango High School. They are moving some items to have some parking out there. But if you live in Durango, ride a bike, take the trolley. I believe it's free trolley service, so you can able to get on the trolley. But anyways, you carpool, that would be greatly appreciated. That's all I have. Thank you. Sir. There you go.
Okay.
Everybody, I know I talk about our developments a lot, and I know everybody thinks Bayfield is just a really cool dive bar. To go to Killer Stamp with a really cool fireworks display, but we have a lot going on, and I wanted to kind of just show you, take you on a tour. This is our orchard subdivision that I've been talking about. This is ultimately going to be 14 homes, a mix of freestanding and some duplexes. I don't know where it went.
Yeah, it'll come out.
Oh. So all of these will have parking around the back and they will face inside. Everything is walkable to our little downtown and across from the school. This is our Clover 7 subdivision. A lot of building going on, same thing across from the primary school, very walkable to our downtown and our parks. Very few lots left in Clover 7, and we will have Clover 8 coming to a planning commission near you. This is our Marlin Village tiny home village. 14 units will go in here. It is adorable. This kind of gives a little better mix of housing availability in Bayfield, but super proud of this subdivision here. And then we have another subdivision going in. It's just breaking ground now, so there's about 30 acres of dirt being turned up there. We have decided to go after a slight sales tax increase to help supplement our park conceptual plan. So that will be going on the ballot. We have 5 seats up for grabs on our next election. So we're looking for members to join the board. And we are also, what was my other news? One more. Oh, going after a lodger's tax. I think with all of the housing coming in, it's something we want to get ahead of and not be in the rears on that. So those are my updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Parkington. Next, Mayor Clark.
Well, good morning, everyone. Hey, I guess you need to bring pictures next time. If you haven't heard, they're repainting 172. Someone getting an impact on the airport, we live with it every day on the national. They're tearing up our downtown. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful super highway when you're done. We're pretty excited about that. You know, we've got some great new businesses coming into town, Dancing Spirit program in a new building. And so they've got the foundation up. I'm looking forward to seeing what that does for our community. Unfortunately, we lost the business. And so Glenn Walker, what Walker's doing best to fund the business. But that's an opportunity for a great commercial space for somebody else. So if you know somebody looking for some commercial space, send them our way. Sharon, you want to stand up? She'll be banned today. We've got the 7th annual Green Chili Fest coming up Labor Day weekend. I think we've got some judges scattered around the room here. We've got green chili, red chili, and salsa competition. We've got barbecue, brisket, and rib competition. Lots of sponsorships throughout, a couple of different live bands. Spread the word. There's some posters out front. If you can take them back to your place of employment and advertise for us, that would be great. Other than that, we got housing coming. I'll bring pictures next week.
Thank you, Mayor Craig. Up next, we have Counselor Hugh.
Hi, Jessica Buell, City Councilor. So the City Council, probably the biggest piece of news, the City Council read our final reading and approved. Approved the property exchange between Durango Fire Protection District and the 9R building. So we did that land swap involving River City Hall and the former 9R building. The City of Durango's Midtown area has been approved as an addition to the Southwest Enterprise Zone. It makes businesses in the zone eligible for various tax credits. If you have questions about that, contact Region 9 for that. West Slope Startup Week is taking place August 21st to the 25th in Durango. It's a week-long free conference for entrepreneurs, small business owners, techies, and more. There's 40 free educational workshops and networking events. So go ahead and head over to West Slope Startup Week if you're interested in attending any of those. Durango La Plata County Airport is on track to have the busiest year ever. Total airline passenger traffic is up 12% compared to 2022. With the first and second quarters of the year seeing record passenger counts, and we broke ground on phase 1A of the terminal, which is super exciting. The URA 2023 Midtown Peak Grant is open. It's designed for property owners to make large property improvements up to $50,000. You can go to durangogov.org/URA for information on that. The first residents of the Animas City Park Overlook Townhome project are planned to move in the first units within the next 2 weeks. Thanks to all the partners that brought this project to its current state. It's our first go at a oh my gosh, I'm losing the word in my head, but anyways, affordable housing through, what is it? No, what is the word I'm looking for? It's our first, yeah, well, anyways, okay, I'll think of it when I'm sitting there and I'll be like, oh, that was it. Okay, for sustainability, 5 businesses have now been certified through the Green Business Certification Program, which is administered by Forecourt and fiscally supported through the City of Durango. And then finally, for community engagement, Float to Work Day is officially Friday, August 18th from 7 to 9 a.m. So join the group float from Memorial Park to 9th Street Bridge and takeout. Public transit will also be running free shuttles from 9th Street takeout to Memorial Park that morning. So there you go.
Thank you. Thank you all our elected officials for all that you do. Up next, Alex Connor. Access Health.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alex Connor. I'm the Chief Administrator for Access Health, and I'm going to speak mostly about our project at the former Mercury building. But to dive into that, I wanted to give just a quick heads up on who Access is. Access is a private nonprofit health facility in our area. We started over 60 years ago as a community mental health provider, but we do a lot more than that today. So you can see we do primary care, integrated behavioral health, oral health, special behavioral health, pharmacy, a number of different services. And so next slide, this is also our different locations, just to kind of give you a picture of our footprint in the Southwest region. We have 11 different counties that we serve with locations all over. You'll notice down in La Plata County in Durango, there's a lot of little bubbles, and that's what I'm going to talk about. That brings us to the Durango Integrated Healthcare Clinic, formerly the Mercury building. And as I said on that previous slide, we have a lot of facilities around Durango. And gonna get that in another slide, but I really like what Chris this morning said, the keynote speaker, about that community connection. The one thing I think it's true in the community, but also as an organization, when we have one clinic that's over by the library, we have another clinic that's over by the Juniper School, we have another clinic that's kind of a lease facility doing more on by Florida Road. That doesn't offer a lot of community connection for our teams, and we really value the integrated approach to healthcare. And so that's really been the vision for trying to get consolidated into that one facility. And the Mercury building came up with an opportunity, and it's actually been part of our strategic plan for probably almost a decade now. Our board had set this vision out, and so this opportunity came up a couple of years ago, and we started to pursue it. So here's kind of a picture of the 4 facilities that we're going to consolidate in Durango. We actually have 5 facilities in Durango, but these are the 4 facilities that are going to consolidate into that one. The one that's not moving is the one over by the hospital. That's our acute treatment unit and detox facility that's really appropriate by the hospital and its use for that purpose. But we have a couple leased assets, our Durango Oral Health Facility, and then Lafayette Integrated Health, which is by the library. Those are 2 of our clinics, and then the Columbine office is more of our traditional behavioral health that is over by the Juniper School, kind of in the Bodo area. And then our corporate office is a brick building in City and covered in the city. So those 4 facilities consolidating to the Mercury building, former Mercury building. The why, again, I already said one reason, which wasn't on here, but that human connection with our team and you know, really that improved organizational presence and brand recognition right now, having 4 facilities throughout Durango. No one really knows, I shouldn't say that. We want to promote what Access is and what we do, and having them all in one building, we feel will improve kind of our presence and communication of our services in town. We also believe it'll improve our efficiency, improve care, improve access, and allow us to grow. So what is the Mercury building? If you're not familiar, it's about an 81,000 square foot facility. There's 3 levels. It's about a football field, end zone to end zone on each floor. So we got 3 floors. And we are looking at, previously it was an office space, so it really lended itself well to a remodel because you walk in and there was a lot of physical space and there was almost wide open space. So it allowed a really efficient and effective renovation for us when we started looking at. The other thing that was important to us, it's really close to downtown as well as in the Three Springs area, and it's right on the river trail. It's great access. It's got bus access right there for our patients who have transportation issues. So again, looking at all those different factors, it really came into focus. And then the last thing, you know, when we started looking at it and where we are now with getting into the construction and having the GMP and having this project all together, we're only looking at about $288 a square foot. That includes the purchase price, that includes the renovation, that includes kind of an all-in cost. To build an 81,000 square foot facility in Durango in this location, we're looking at more than double that cost. So we felt strategically it was great fit for all of our needs, and then the cost was really effective for us. So I've got a few slides here that look at our floor plans. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. This is probably really hard to see, especially for those of you in the back. But this is the main level. You'd walk in, we're going to have a pharmacy on the right. We're going to have kind of some lab services there. This is mostly primary care. We do have plans to have an x-ray and an urgent care kind of immediate access to the left. So that would allow us to maybe shut some doors on the weekend, but leave some services open like pharmacy and urgent care on the weekends. Let's go ahead and run through the next one. This is the lower level. This is more kind of group therapy sessions, behavioral health rooms, some different expansion. And there's going to be a lot of IT infrastructure, a lot of kind of warehouse utility area in this space. And then the top floor, this is an exciting floor. It's got mostly down here is all of our oral health offices. So we have 15 different operatories that are going in. So we'll have quite a bit of expanded dental services. And then we have some leasable space up there, and we're really excited about some partnership opportunities. We're talking with Perry's been in some conversations lately, but we'd really like to partner with Pueblo Community College to try and get some workforce training and some job development training in there. They may not take up that whole space, but that's what we're kind of holding out for that. I know we've been reached out by a lot of people looking to rent that, but that's kind of our focus right now. And then once we figure that out, or if that comes to fruition, we'll decide what to do with the rest of the space. So just a quick economic impact, we're adding about 20 jobs to this initially. We're looking at expanded therapy access, 3 additional primary care providers, 2 additional dentists, an additional hygienist, some pharmacists, and then some expanded psychiatric and behavioral health resources. And then we're also, as I mentioned, looking to open an urgent care in the future with actually capabilities. But that's more we'll look and talk about. So I flew through that pretty quick. I know it's been a tight agenda. The questions are going to hang out a little bit after the meeting if you want. I don't know if we have time for questions now.
Yeah.
We'll just hang out.
Anybody has questions? Sure.
Sure. 1 or 2 questions, or otherwise I'll be around. All right, I'll be around. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Up next, we have Tommy Crosby from the city of Durango.
Morning, everyone. For those of y'all I haven't met, Tommy Crosby, City of Durango. I oversee our Economic Opportunity Division. I'm going to chat with you a little bit about some recent lodgers tax, arts and culture funding. It's been one of the most fun parts of my job. I've not done a straw poll like this, but has anyone noticed a new piece of public art in Durango over the past 12, 24 months? All right, cool. Very, very nice. As you're driving out today, maybe you'll notice on some of the transit stops, some steel metal panels that are custom designed to reflect Durango landscape, or just down the block, the Love Letters mural by General Owens on the side of the Crossroads building. So to give you a little bit of context around this lodgers tax, arts and culture funding, in April 2021, Durango voters approved an increase in the city's lodgers tax, with 14% of that increase earmarked for lodgers tax, arts and culture projects, programs, events, and experiences. In January, City Council then crafted a lodgers tax policy and handed that off to the city's Creative Economy Commission to turn that funding into a program. May 22, the first round of lodgers tax funding was open. January 23, we made some small tweaks that I'll talk about a little bit more to incorporate some business consulting. And as of June 2023, over $1 million in lodgers tax, arts and culture funding has been distributed to creatives right here in Durango. Maddie Sanders' serpent motif at the intersection of 14th Camino and Main activated a kind of forgotten gray wall, and now it's got a beautiful popping yellow mural on it, hard to miss. Over the 2 years of the program, we have funded 77 projects, programs, events, and experiences. Over $1 million in arts and culture funding distributed to local creatives, stimulating Durango's creative economy. And I love sharing this stat here at the bottom. We increased Durango's per capita arts and culture spend from $3 to $26 in just 2 years. So it is really impactful funding. Fun shot from San Juan Symphony's family concert this last summer. One of the biggest things that I'm most proud of that we incorporated in this second year of our lodgers tax, arts and culture funding was creative business consulting. So not a knock on any creatives in the community, but a lot of folks who have dedicated their lives to arts and culture didn't necessarily go to business school. And what we wanted to avoid was some of the situations we encountered after this first year of funding, telling someone, hey, congratulations, you got $25,000 worth of funding. And it was full on deer in headlights of, oh my gosh, what do I do with that amount of money? I've never received that much money for my creative business. So in the second year of this program, we partnered with Bert Carter Consulting. He does a lot of consulting work for the Small Business Development Center. And we've implemented a 3-part workshop on the basics of building a creative business. How does QuickBooks work? How to pay yourself? How to use this grant money as seed money for starting your business so you don't have to keep coming back to grant dependent programs year over year. We've seen fantastic success with this program. I'm very grateful for Bert and his willingness to partner with the Creative Economy Commission, the Durango Creative District, and all the amazing projects that have been brought to us through this lodgers tax, arts and culture funding program. So as we look forward, as we've wrapped up the second year of this program, we really want to try to activate specific parts of Durango with public art. So you're probably going to see some more call to artists as part of that Lodgers Tax Arts and Culture Funding Program. We want to take advantage of natural infrastructure disruption. So when there's something like the Midtown traffic plan, that's gonna maybe rip up some of the roads in a high traffic part of town. How can we partner with city departments to take advantage of those natural disruptions for implementing larger public art projects? And then this last one here, this is kind of leaning on the folks in this room. We really want to try to strengthen partnerships when it comes to developing and kind of teasing out those connections in our creative economy and how to strengthen that fabric of I think weaning away from this mindset of the kind of the starving artist mentality and recognizing that the creative economy is a living, breathing, true part of the economic makeup here in Durango, and tying together this fantastic opportunity with helping stimulate the creative economy using these Lodgers Tax Arts and Culture funds. So if you do have ideas, we took a small bite out of how to improve this program with that creative business consulting. But if you do have other ideas, thoughts that come to mind of how to continue to strengthen the fabric of our creative economy, please, we're all ears. Enjoy some of these projects are creating traditional public art like you see and like I've highlighted, but other projects, they're a little less seen. Again, trying to use that kind of that seed money approach to help folks move into a brick and mortar space, or help the powerhouse fund their Pterosaurus exhibit, things like that. So this funding really has been supporting the full spectrum of what arts and culture looks like in Durango. And we're really trying to change that narrative so folks can recognize the power of Durango's creative community. And we want collaboration. We want folks to join in and help build up that narrative and make Durango more of a hub for arts and culture and strengthening our creative economy. So thank you for letting me give you a quick update, and yeah, make sure you're checking out some of these new projects that are lighting up Durango.
Next is Colton Black from Southern Ute Indian Tribe, Economic Development.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here this morning. I want to give a couple quick updates here from the tribe side. So first thing up on that is we are hosting our Southwest Colorado Demystifying Entrepreneurship Workshop. It's going to be this Friday and Saturday. So that's August 11th to 12th. It's a really great program. It's put on in partnership with the University of Colorado's Leeds School of Business. They send down some of their faculty from that program, and they're some of the best in the industry, and they teach and put on a really good program for us here. It's something that they do kind of across rural Colorado, and this is the opportunity we have it in our area. The theme this year is startup to scale up. So it's those that are, that have maybe started their business, that are looking to scale their business a little bit. But it also will have a lot of good stuff for those that are still just trying to start up their business and get their feet under them. So good workshop for any of those folks. We do still have some tickets available for that. You can find them through Eventbrite if you search that Southwest Colorado Demystifying. You should be able to find that, or you can find it through our economic development webpage. I think the Alliance has stuff up on it on their social media and things that way. So it's different opportunities there. In addition to that, we did have a couple panelists that had to drop out. So we are looking for a replacement panelist or two. So if you are a business owner and would love to share your knowledge and experience with some aspiring entrepreneurs or other business owners, please come talk to me afterwards. We'd love to have you. We will plan to have some pretty good gifts to make it worth your while for being a panelist for us. So if you would like to come and share that knowledge with that group on Friday evening, so it's a Friday evening reception for that panel. We could use one or two more folks to sit on that panel. It would be very helpful if anybody knows anybody that would be joining that. Following that, I kind of wanted to step into, so the tribe over the last year, we've been working to update what's known as their SEDS, or their Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. We just finalized that plan here within the last few days, so nobody's really had a chance to see that. You guys are kind of amongst the first to hear anything on that. And so with that, we had a 16-member stakeholder committee that developed 5 strategic priorities through, a strategic planning process that we worked on over the last year. And those 5 strategic priorities I kind of wanted to share with you guys, so you have an idea of what the priorities are in regards to economic development for the tribe, or will be over the coming years. So let me pull that up. So the top priority that came out of that process was to improve the availability of diverse housing options. Number 2 is expand high-speed broadband connectivity. 3 is increase commercial infrastructure and community amenities. 4 is improved tribal economic development capacity and ability to leverage underutilized resources. And 5 is enhance opportunities for business creation. So we took those 5 priorities and we built them into 5 priority roadmaps. And so those 5 priority roadmaps are kind of one-page documents that kind of show, what the objectives are, what that goal, goals and priorities and the different potential projects that are listed in what's known as our CDAP, or Community Development Action Plan for the tribe. So all of that is going to be made available here as a public document. We plan to have that out here. I think we should have it out by the end of the week. It's going to be made available for public comment. It's still some debate whether or not that'll allow public comment for the community at large, or if it'll be limited to just tribal membership, but it will become a public document through USEDA, which is the Economic Development Administration. And so we're really hoping to use that document as a collaborative piece to help collaborate with neighboring jurisdictions and government entities and things that way, to really build partnership to help economic development for the Southern Ute Indian Reservation over the coming years. So we're really looking forward to some of the opportunities that should come out of that updated plan. Kind of along those lines, we already have a handful of projects in the queue to address that top priority in relation to housing options. We have our Growth Point Properties Group has a few projects that are going to move forward in the Ignacio area, and we're excited to see some of those move forward. Another one that I think Clark's mentioned before is we do have a project kind of in the works that is in partnership with the town of Ignacio. It's a Rock Creek housing project that we have applied for congressionally directed spending for. We're really hopeful that we'll see that funding come through and be able to partnering with the town on seeing that come to fruition. That would bring 25 new units to Ignacio, which would be a huge addition, I think, to that community, to be able to add some updated housing stock to the Ignacio area. So and then like I said, we have a couple other projects that as those solidify more, I hope we'll come back and share some more details for you. And again, if you'd like to be a panelist, would like to attend our event this weekend, please come see me. Thank you for your time.
We're going to move on to announcements first. Elena Roman from Fort Lewis College.
Hi everyone, for those of you I don't know, I am the director of student initiatives. I'm in Maryland at Fort Lewis College. I work very closely with this team on the Opportunity Now plan. And I just want to be really quick. We're hiring a program manager. Really exciting position. We're getting the priority to begin with guys like tomorrow. So 11:59 p.m. So obviously 12:01 a.m. is fine too. But the job will stay open until filled. Our hope is that we have some interviews and onboarding, but it's going to be up the summit when we make it in September. So we are going to be doing this quickly. It would be wonderful to have someone in this region who's familiar with the area. We do have some strong applications coming in, so if you know anyone who might be able to fit, we encourage you to apply. I'm staying up to the meetings to give you questions or want to email me just a few details or give me the application. It's on Fort Lewis's website, it's on the Alliance's website as well. I'm sure we'll send the follow-ups to the members just to make sure everyone has the info. It's a really incredible position. It's really going to oversee the implementation and execution of this 3-year plan and this broader joint workforce strategy. The traditional management reporting role to Fort Lewis College and to the Alliance. So working really closely with myself, and working in the affairs team as well as the science team as well. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to staff.
Elena, will you give a salary range, please?
Yeah, salary range is 59 to 65,000, and he goes in not only professional development, as well as attendance to workshop conferences. Sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Sure, I'm sorry. Yes, it's a, yeah, the program and position for the opportunity now. We can. Really softball, it's program manager with the opportunity. Thank you. The salary range is 59 to 65,000. It's a 3-year position. Obviously, our hope is that this workforce strategy is successful and we are able to sustain this position beyond the life cycle of the grant, which is in June 2026. Priority to applicants that apply by tomorrow and today, that the position will remain open until filled. And I'll stay after you. Anything else? Any other questions? I'm sorry, I have a very soft voice, but thanks for testing.
Thanks, Elena.
Yeah, you will. You need a microphone?
No, I do not. Can you guys hear me? On my, voice. So a couple things coming up with the chamber. We are accepting nominations for Durango Rocks. So if you have a business individual that you'd like to nominate, you go to durangobusiness.org and nominate them. Also next week, we have business after hours, thanks to Three Springs for hosting. That'll be on Thursday night from 5 to 7. Also constantly at Rock Webster's for you next Thursday. So you can dovetail and head over to the after hours, then head over to the concert. We do have our healthcare forum, age and issues coming up. It's be on Thursday, September 7th. A lot of things happening of insurance providers coming into the market, leaving the market. So we have some of our local experts that will be on the panel. So you can go to durangobusiness.org and register for this. I highly encourage you to attend. There'll be a lot of great information that will be shared at that. You follow up with another age and issues, mark your calendar for October 12th. That will be on Proposition HH. That is coming from the state and opportunity to vote that yay or nay, as they say. A lot of details with Proposition HH. So it's another one that we'll be hosting. Go to durangobusiness.org for all of our upcoming events, and we've got a lot of stuff coming up in September. Any questions for me? All right, thanks.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, everybody, for your announcements and updates. Next meeting is October 10th. Mike mentioned it before. No meeting next month due to the summit, which we hope everybody will be at and bring friends. Thank you, everybody. 5 minutes under schedule. Perfect. All right. Have a great day.
It's good. Even with technical difficulties.